It's now time to go down under as we speak to a Brentford Hall of Famer. That man is, of course, legendary former striker Lloyd Owusu. First of all, Lloyd, how are you feeling after Brentford secured their place at Wembley?
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal. I woke up this morning to a heave of messages on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, saying that they had done it. And then obviously I looked straight onto the BBC website and then I saw the result, and I was absolutely buzzing for the boys in the club.
Yeah, 4 a.m. I think it was, so you can be forgiven for missing the game as you got up. But we'll get more into talking about the current team in a moment. But first, explain to us what the club itself means to you. You played, for many teams, of course, in your career, but you describe Brentford as your club.
Yeah, Brentford's my family club, man. That's my home. I always call it my home, From the first day I signed to the last day I left on my second spell, the Brentford fans especially made it real special for me. No matter rain or shine, they were there for us as players collectively. They really got behind us no matter if you were playing well or if you weren't playing well. But the thing with Brentford fans, when they saw a player who put their hand on their heart and worked tirelessly in games, they loved that. And I appreciate everything that Brentford fans especially, and obviously the club as a whole, did for me.
Yeah, just looking at your career a bit more closely, you joined from non-league. You joined Brentford from Slough, I believe it was. You were an instant hit, scoring 25 goals in your first year. What do you put that individual success down to?
A few factors, to be fair. I was always one of the guys who wanted to do that extra bit more because I hadn't had that real nurture of YTS football growing up, where you train day in and day out. I came from that non-league way, so I was only training 2 nights a week. So I knew for me to get to the next level with the rest of the boys in this team, and even in the league, should I say, I had to be that bit better. So for me, it was all about doing extra. So even when I did turn pro, I was still doing extra training with my mentor at the time, Danny Bailey. I would go up to Walthamstow every Sunday after a game and just train extra with him. We'd do bike rides, swimming, hill runs, everything, and obviously football stuff as well. And that made me, and I believe that did make me a good player and make me score the 25 goals at the end of the season in my first year, which was word of over stuff.
Yeah, is it about proving people wrong a little bit when you are coming from non-league? Obviously, some people may underestimate you not having that background of, coming through an academy in the EFL or the Premier League.
Correct, of course, because obviously at the end of the day, non-league, people deem it as, especially in my days, just what kind of league is it? It's just non-league football. They train a couple of nights a week, where all these other professionals are training every day, week in and week out. But the great thing about the non-league, and I've seen over the years, is that there are hungry guys who want to really be successful and have a piece of that pie like the rest of the professional guys in the world. So for me, my aim was just to obviously, hopefully get the opportunity, which I did in the end. And with that opportunity, I had to take it and prove people that I belong here. And I believe I think I did a bit more than believing in my own ability. And I think a lot of people were like, wow, this guy has got something special. And I had a great year.
Yeah, you certainly did. As I mentioned, you were inducted into that Brentford Hall of Fame not long ago as well. Just tell us, what does that mean to you personally to be part of the history of that football club?
Yeah, again, a massive honour. When I found out about it, I couldn't believe it. I was actually due to come back. I was coming back to England the year that they gave it to me, and they got wind that I was coming back. And Peter Gillam, legend, may I say, called me up and said, Lloyd, we believe that you're coming back and you've been inducted in the Hall of Fame. And I was just like, serious? He goes, yeah, for sure. He says, we've got a live game against Nottingham Forest and we would love to do it on the pitch in front of all the home fans. And I just thought it was a blessing. It was just a dream come true to be able to come back after many years, to be recognised as a player who has done a lot for the club and helped the club and taken the club to a certain level. And just for them to put me in the Hall of Fame, I was just truly, truly blessed and humbled.
You mentioned the club being at a certain level. Just how impressed have you been, though, since you left the club? How much it's achieved since then? And obviously, one game away from the Premier League now.
Yeah, I mean, I was actually, luckily for myself, I was actually back in January before I had to travel to Ghana. So I went to the training ground and I met up with Thomas Franks, and obviously my old captain, Kev O'Connor, invited me back to the training ground. Every time I come back, they always let me come and just hang out there. And I went in, had a session with the boys. And like I said, like you say, football's evolved so much. The training ground, obviously, it's still the same training ground that I was at when my last years there with the little porta cabins. But this time, obviously, it's evolved a bit in regards a few more porta cabins and the video analysis rooms, the physio room, the gym, the full-time chefs, full-time kit room, everything. So that was brilliant. The pitch was looking like a carpet. So for me to be there and really explore and see what they were doing now was fantastic. And like I said, the players now, I mean, back in my days, yeah, there was good players and we were trying to be the best we can. But now you look at these players, they're real athletes, real athletes. The way they sleep, the way they eat, the way they drink, and just the way they're full professionalism. Not saying that we weren't professional back in our day, but the way, like I said, because football's really involved, these guys were fantastic. The ball speed was unbelievable. The technical ability of these boys, so young but so gifted, and it was a real pleasure to actually see it live on a training pitch, and it was really good to see.
Yeah, you touched on the players there and the professionalism. I want to mention one specifically now. As we mentioned, you scored 25 goals in your first season. Ollie Watkins just got his 26th in his first year as the main number 9 for the club. Just to tell us how special he is as a player. And can you see similarities with what you had in your game as well? Yeah,
again, Ollie's come back from a lower level, and he's a great kid. I've luckily had the pleasure of meeting him a few times when I went back. And even funny you say that, even just yesterday, I messaged him to say congratulations and make sure you keep firing Brentford on. And for him to score them many goals, and if you think about it, he wasn't really a real out and out number 9. It was maybe a bit of a default that he ended up playing in that position, because when he first came, he was more that winger sort of type. But he's got into that number 9 position, and he's really thrived on it, and he's taken it. He's taken it by the scruff of the neck, and he's done so well. Some of the goals are magic. He's either scored outside the box, 6-yard tap-ins, which any goal scorer, striker wants to do, and he's done that in abundance now. Like you say, 26 goals, and hopefully he can get a couple more to push him to the promised land.
Yeah, do you believe he truly is a Premier League player in waiting? Like you say, so much in his game, and he works so hard as well, of course.
Yeah, easy. I personally look, if you can score 25 goals in a championship plus, you're a good striker. There's no secret about that. You're a good striker. Will he be able to do it in the Premiership? Yes, I believe he will. One, because he's young, he's still hungry, just the way, and he's very humble. When I met him, and even when I talk to him now, a very humble guy who wants to learn, and I guess he wants to do the best he can. And I believe whether it will be with Brentford or elsewhere, he will be a successful player in the future for sure.
Yeah, one of many, special players in that Brentford team, of course. But how much would have you liked to have played in that so-called BMW that Brentford have got in Benrahma and Mbeumo and Watkins?
Yeah, mate. I mean, like I said, they played a real attacking flair for you. Back in my days, it was more of a 4-4-2. So it was like me and my strike partner, Ben Burgess, with some guys behind us, some good wingers. But these three, like I said, the way them three played together, it's beautiful. Cutting in from the right to the left, like Said Benrahma, for me, he's a real talent. That's a special player. To be fair, I didn't really notice him too much before when I was early on in the season, even last year. But I've been really watching the last 3 or 4 months when they came back, obviously out of isolation, and he is special. He's a special player.
Yeah, causing interest from the likes of Chelsea. It shows you how special he is. I want to talk about the manager, though, now, Thomas Frank, as well. We've seen how he comes across very confident in the media, but you've seen these players firsthand, as you said, back in January in training. Just tell us how he gets the best out of these players, though.
Just by observing, it's his honesty. From us, I saw his man management skill was beautiful. Obviously, first and foremost, he welcomed me into the ground and training ground. The first thing he said to me goes, any player who's played for Brentford is always welcome to him. So automatically you feel part of it. And then when we went into the video analysis room, I see the way the boys came in, myself, Kevin O'Connor, and a few of the guys were already in there. And then the players started coming. And just even their aura, when they walked into the room, the sort of appreciation and the camaraderie they showed towards each other, him and to the players, was fantastic. And then when they got onto the training pitch, he has a nice aura about him. He's not one of them really loud, shouty managers, but he was nice and calm, collective, very cool. And he just had a great feeling. I think he feels like they're his little brothers, all the boys, and I think that's like their big brother. So it's that they've got a nice combination there together, nice synergy.
Yeah, you yourself as well, you must have heard of the Brentford playoff curse that there has been. Never won in, I think, 8 campaigns. How are they going to change that this time? Is it going to be 9th time lucky, do you think?
Mate, I really hope not. I really hope not. Like I said, I was part of that one of them 8 in my time when we lost to Stoke. And what was even worse is that we beat Stoke like 3 weeks before the playoff final. I think it was 3-0, 3-1 at home. And then we go to Millennium Stadium and then we lose 2-0. But I just hope this time around, whoever Brentford play, they're gonna get there and get to that promised land.
What is it like? Just explain the feeling of playing in a playoff final. Obviously, it's not a great experience for you losing it, but the pressure and the occasion itself is something, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess in a way, I think it might be a bit of a blessing for the boys this time because they have no fans. Where obviously back in my day we had the fans, and obviously because of circumstances in the world now, there's going to be no one there at Wembley. But I believe with what they know they need to do, I've got a real good feeling that this year is going to be the one for us. Definitely going to be the one.
So you think it's going to be the one? Are you going to have that opportunity to stay up and watch this one 4 a.m. start?
Now this one I'm going to, even though I've got work on the Wednesday morning early doors. I'll be set the alarm at that 4 o'clock, and I will be up to watch that. I have to watch that. I have to watch it.
Well, Lloyd, get some sleep before then. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Thank you very much. Cheers.